So you just got your Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra, but before you start installing apps or customizing everything, there are a few important settings you should change immediately. So right out of the box, your phone isn't actually set up for the best battery life, best privacy, best performance, or even the best display quality. So with just a few quick changes, you can make your phone faster, smarter, and much more enjoyable to use every day. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the most important settings to change right away so you can get the absolute most out of your device from day one. And a quick favor before we jump in, if you enjoy simple tech tips like this and want to get the most out of your device, hit the like button, drop a comment below, and subscribe to this channel. The more likes and comments this video gets, the more YouTube pushes it out to help other people who just got their new phone. Alright, let's get started with the first setting you should change. So first feature which you should set up is biometrics. So biometrics allows your phone to recognize you using your fingerprint or face, so you can unlock it quickly and securely. So instead of entering a PIN number here, like this, your phone can scan your fingerprint or your face and unlock it almost instantly, just like this here. So to set this up, you want to go ahead and open up Settings, scroll down and go into Lock Screen and AOD, then tap on Screen Lock and Biometrics. Go ahead and enter in your PIN number. Now from here, in the biometric section, you have face recognition and fingerprint. Start off by setting up face recognition, which will basically scan your face from multiple angles so it can recognize you in different lighting conditions. Once that's done, go ahead and set up fingerprints. So this will use fingerprint sensor under the display to recognize you. So here, you can go ahead and tap on Add Fingerprint. Go ahead and register your fingerprint. So you need to go ahead and press your fingerprint until it reaches 100%. So it's a good idea to register at least 2 fingerprints, such as both thumbs, so your left thumb and your right thumb, so that your phone can unlock easily with either hands. Now, once you have registered a fingerprint as well, make sure to tap on the fingerprint and then tap on Improve Accuracy. Now here you can go ahead and improve the accuracy of your fingerprint by scanning your finger 10 times and make sure it's the same finger which you used when you registered this fingerprint. So go ahead and do that. So this way, when you grab your phone from a desk, place your thumb on the screen, within seconds the phone unlocks without needing to type a password. So you have faster and easier unlocking, strong security than a simple PIN, and this works naturally with one hand. Now feature number 2 is your privacy display, which you need to turn on. So privacy display is designed to keep people around you from seeing what's on your screen. So when enabled, the display limits the viewing angle, so only someone looking directly at the phone can clearly see the content. So say for example, right now you're looking straight at this phone. However, if I go ahead and open up Gallery, if I go ahead and turn this phone at an angle, you'll see that you're unable to see that screen now. Now if I press Home, you'll be able to see the screen. If I open up Gallery, you'll not be able to see the screen. So let me show you how you can turn this feature on. So this is called Privacy Screen, however, on a condition. So you can find the settings in Settings, scroll down, find Display, then go and scroll down and find Privacy Display. Tap on this. Now you have 2 options. You can turn on the privacy display always. So this will always stay on regardless of what condition it is on. So here, if I go and turn the screen, you'll see that privacy screen is turned on. Now the second option is condition. So if you go and tap on this, so you have conditions on turning on privacy display. So say for example, if you open up certain apps, banking apps, maybe a message app, or for my case, it's a gallery app. So I've set a gallery app condition where if I open that app, then privacy screen should turn on. Now here you can go ahead and set for PIN, pattern, and password entering. So when you come to a screen where you need to enter a PIN number or pattern or a password, it'll basically set it to privacy screen. So I've turned that on. And third, you have the option for partial screen privacy. So this is great for notifications. So you can apply privacy display to notification pop-ups from all the apps while keeping the rest of the screen visible. So only this part of your screen will have the privacy display. So this way, you still protect your privacy information without affecting your viewing experience too much. So this is great if you're sitting on a train checking your messages with privacy display active. The person next to you can't clearly see your screen. So this basically protects your personal information in public. It prevents people from reading your messages, and this basically adds extra privacy for sensitive apps. Now feature number 3, which you should turn on, is dark mode. So dark mode changes the system interface from bright white backgrounds to darker colors. So this not only makes the phone easier on your eyes, but also helps save battery life because an AMO LED display only lights up the pixels that needs to be illuminated. So here you can go ahead and turn on dark mode by going to settings, scroll down and find display. Now here find light mode and dark mode. So to turn it on, just tap on this and this will turn on dark mode for you. So once it's enabled, the entire phone interface becomes darker and more comfortable to look at, especially at night. Now down below you have dark mode settings where you can basically configure it more. So here you can go ahead and turn on dark mode on schedule. So say for example sunset to sunrise, or a custom schedule, say for example 7 in the evening till 7 in the morning. So this is great if you're scrolling through your phone late at night in a dark room. So with dark mode on, the screen feels less harsh and easier on your eyes. So this basically helps reduce eye strain, improves battery efficiency, and it looks cleaner and more modern. Now the fourth feature which you should change is your screen resolution to QHD+. So the Galaxy S26 Ultra includes a high resolution display that supports multiple resolution levels. So by default, many phones start at a low resolution to save power, but you can increase it to the highest settings for the sharpest visual. So let me show you how to do this. So here, go ahead and open up settings, scroll down, find display, scroll down and find screen resolution. And here, by default, it'll be set to FHD+. So this is the resolution you're getting. So the phones that are shipped straight from the factory, they're set to this resolution. So you can go ahead and set it to QHD+. So this allows the display to show more details in text, images, and videos. However, do note that most of the battery will be used here. So this is great if you're watching YouTube video or viewing photos you just took. So with the high resolution enabled, everything appears sharper and more details. So this way you have sharper images and text, you have better video viewing experience. This makes full use of the premium display as well. Now the fifth feature which you should change is improve sound quality with dynamic mode. So out of the box, Samsung phones usually have a sound equalizer set to the balance mode. So while balance works fine, switching to dynamic can provide a richer sound with better bass and clearer highs. So here, let me show you how to change this. Go ahead and open up settings, scroll down, find sound and vibrations, scroll down and find sound quality and effects, and here find the equalizer. So now here, as you can see, it's set to balanced. However, I would suggest change this to dynamic, and this will basically give you a more better bass and a clearer high. But it's totally up to you. You can go ahead and change it to bass boost, smooth, clear, treble boost, or custom, and you can do your own sound settings. But my recommendation is to go to dynamic. So this adjustment basically improves audio, whether you're listening through the phone speakers, headphones, or Bluetooth devices. So if you're watching a movie or listening to music, after switching to dynamic mode, the audio sounds more fuller and more immersive. So give it a go and see what happens for you. So here you have richer and more powerful sound. You have better experience for music and video, and this works across speakers and headphones. Now the sixth feature which you should enable is vibration sound for your calls. So sometimes your phone vibrates, but you still miss the call because it's sitting on something soft like a couch or bed. The Samsung includes a feature that adds a subtle vibration sound through the speakers when the phone vibrates. So you can go ahead and enable this by going to settings, scroll down, find sound and vibration. Next, scroll down and find vibration intensity. And here find vibration sound for incoming calls. So this way you can avoid missed calls by playing a sound to make vibration louder. So go ahead and turn this feature on. So this will basically create a soft buzzing sound that mimics the vibration, helping you notice incoming calls more easily. So your phone is on the couch while you're in the kitchen. So instead of silently vibrating into the cushion, the phone produces a soft buzzing sound so you know someone is calling. So this basically helps prevent missed calls. It makes vibration easier to notice, and this is useful when the phone is on the soft surface. Okay. Now the seventh feature which you should turn on is where you should record videos in 4K 60 frames per second. So if you plan to use your phone's camera for videos, you should adjust the recording quality. So many phones default to full HD, but the camera is capable of much higher quality. So here, if I go ahead and open up the camera, if I go ahead and switch over to video, you'll see that it defaults to FHD 30 frames per second. So FHD is 1080p. You want to record in 4K. So to do this, go ahead and switch it over to UHD, and you want to go ahead and record in higher frames per second. So this basically gives you more smoother videos. So this allows a phone to record sharper video with smoother motion. So you can go ahead and record family events or create content for social media. With the 4K 60 frames per second enabled, your video will look much clearer and more professional. So here you'll have sharper video quality, smoother motion in recording, and this is better for content creation. Now the 8th feature which you should turn on is auto restart for better performance. So over time, your smartphone can accumulate temporary files and background processes that slow things down. So restarting the phone occasionally helps clear these processes and keep everything running smoothly. So Samsung includes the auto restart feature that automatically restarts your phone at a scheduled time. So you can find it by going into settings, scroll down and find device care, scroll down and find auto optimization, and here find auto restart. Tap on this. And here you can go ahead and choose restart when needed or restart on schedule. So here I've set to restart on schedule, and here I've just set it to restart every day, 3 o'clock in the morning. So this is a time when I'm not using the phone, so it doesn't interrupt my normal use. You can go ahead and choose if you want to restart once a week, maybe twice a week, or maybe just like me, every day. So your phone automatically restarts on a specific time in a day while you're asleep, so when you wake up, it's running fresh and running smoothly again. So this keeps the phone running smoothly, clears any background processes, and improves long-term performance. Now the 9th and the last feature which you should turn on is organize your app drawer in alphabetical order. So when you first set up your phone, the app drawer can look messy because the apps are placed in the order they were installed. So here, as you can see, if I'm trying to find a particular app, I need to go ahead and look at all of the screens in order to find it because they're not in alphabetical order. So sorting them makes it much easier to find what you need. So here you can go ahead and open up the app drawer, tap on the 3 dots here, tap on sort, and make sure to select alphabetical order. So now once you do this, you'll be able to find your apps quicker. So say for example, if I want to find TikTok, I can just go ahead and find T, and TikTok is right there. So instead of searching through multiple pages for an app, you simply scroll down the alphabetical list and find it instantly. So this way you have clean app organization, faster app searching, and less clutter in the app drawer. So those are some of the most important settings to change right after setting up your Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. Making these adjustments helps your phone feel faster, more secure, and easier to use every day. So if you found this helpful, please consider subscribing for more simple tech tips and tutorial. Like this video if this gave you any value. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.